Okay, so for the sake of revision, last class में हम जो पढ़े थे, whatever discussed in the last class, let's just go over that once more. Okay, just very briefly that, and before we move on to find the cardinality of A union B, cardinality of A minus B, cardinality of A union B union C, first let's see the Venn diagrams of A union B, A intersection B, A minus B and A delta B first. Okay, so let me just draw the Venn diagram so that you can remember what we discussed, what we have already covered so far. First is union of A and B. A union B. What is the Venn diagram? This is set A, this set B. Okay. A union B is a set that carries all the elements of set A and all the elements of set B. Right? Entire set A and set B, whatever the elements they carry, everything that is there inside set A and everything that is there inside set B, okay, they are elements of what? A union B. Similarly, intersection A intersection B. A intersection B is the set that carries those elements which are common to both A and B, right? This is set A, this is set B. As you can see clearly, all the elements in this region, in this red shaded region, they fall under the confinement of the circle of set A and the circle of set B also, right? They are mutually shared by A and B. That is why this region is called A intersection B. They are common to both A and B, right? Okay. And also we have discussed A minus B. What is A minus B? Suppose this is set A, this set B. Well, A minus B is a set that carries those elements which belong to only A, not B. They belong to set A only but not B. So as you can see, which portions of or which elements of set A are there in A only but they have nothing to do with set B? These elements of set A, they belong to A only, okay? They have nothing to do with set B, okay? But you see, these elements, okay, even though they belong to A, also they belong to B. So we are only interested in those elements which belong to A only, not B. That is why this is A minus B. Similarly, what is B minus A? This is set A, this is set B, and this region which encompasses all those elements that belong to B only but not A. B only but not A, right? Okay, because these elements, even though they belong to B but also they belong to set A, right? They are common elements of A B. So we are only interested in those elements which belong to B only, not A. Okay, so this is B minus A. And also we are talking about A delta B. A delta B is called what? Symmetric difference. Symmetric difference between A and B. A delta B. Okay. A delta B formula is what? A delta B actually is A minus B union B minus A. Okay. So let's draw the Venn diagram. You see, this is set A and this is set B. We know that this is A minus B, this is B minus A. So combine all these sets, combine all these elements of A minus B and B minus A, okay, and you will get what? A delta B, right? So this is A minus B union B minus A. All the elements of A minus B, all the elements of B minus A, right? Take them and form a new set that is called what? A delta B, right? Also you can see clearly that A delta B is also equal to A union B minus A intersection B. It's very easy to see, right? Clear as daylight. You see, this region is called what? A intersection B. This entire region is called what? A union B. Think about it. If you take out this A intersection B portion, from A union B, then what are you left with? You are left with this red region, right? Which is A delta B. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these things we discussed in the last class. Okay. Okay. Now what else we discussed? We discussed the cardinality of A union B and everything. So let me first erase it. You take the screenshot if you want. Otherwise, I will erase it. Okay. Done. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
okay. Then let's talk about. I am also recording the class. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about. Let's talk about cardinality of A union B. Right. We have already discussed this. For the sake of revision, let me just remind you. Okay. So we had discussed in the last class that if A and B are disjoint sets. What do you mean by saying that A and B are disjoint? A and B are disjoint means they have no element in common between them. If A and B have no element in common between them, that is to say, intersection between A and B is empty set. Intersection between A and B is what? Empty set. Phi is called what? Empty set. Nothing in it, right? If A intersection B is phi, then only then cardinality of A union B is equal to cardinality of A plus cardinality of B. With a simple example, we had explained this. How? For example, let's say set A is there which has elements 1, 2, 3. Set B is there which has elements 4, 5. Do you see any element common between them? Is there any element common between A, B? You see? No?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
That means A intersection
No,
B is
sir.
empty set, right? If you take, because what is A intersection B? A intersection B is a set that carries all the elements that are mutually shared by A and B. And here no element is mutually shared by A and B. So A intersection B is a set which has no elements in it here. That means it is an empty set, right? Okay. Now in this case, let's find A union B. Now when I go to find A union B, as promised, A union B will carry all the elements of A and all the elements of B. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So count the elements of A union B now. Isn't it 5? Okay. What is
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
okay? What is the number of element
Yes,
of
sir.
A? 3. What is the number of element of B? 2, right? So you see this is
2.
equal to the
Yes,
cardinality of
sir.
A plus cardinality of B. Number of element of A plus number of element of B is equal to number of element of A union B. Remember? Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So this is a specific case. This is a specific case, a particular case. Do not think, do not think that formula for A union B cardinality is equal to cardinality of A plus cardinality of B. No, 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 no. This is not the formula for cardinality of A union B. It is only in a specific case. What is that case? That is if A intersection B is equal to phi, only then cardinality of A union B is equal to cardinality of A plus cardinality of B. Otherwise there is a general formula. Okay, because is it is it necessary that always A intersection B will be phi? Is it necessary? Is it necessary that you will get always A intersection B an empty set? No, right? A
No,
intersection.
sir.
Oh, so
No, sir.
so this is only a specific case. Only when they are in disjoint, then only cardinality of A union B is equal to cardinality of A plus cardinality of B. Okay, so take the screenshot. Done.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Then what else we discussed? Let's see. Using this same concept, we are going to derive a lot of other formulae also. We have already discussed this, but for the sake of revision, I'm telling you once again, guys. This set is called what? A minus B, right? It carries only those elements that belong to A only, not B, right? This set,
Yes, sir.
this is A intersection B. This blue shaded region, the blue shaded region carries elements that are common between A and B, right? That are common between A and B. You see for yourself, if I take all the elements of A minus B and all the elements of A intersection B take their union, form a new set, what set will it be? Won't it be entire set A? You see for
Yes,
yourself.
sir.
If I take their union, red union blue
Yes, sir.
is the entire set. Okay. One more important thing, do you also see that this red and this blue, they have nothing in common? Red, blue, they have nothing in common. Nowhere they are overlapping, right? You see for yourself. That is to say, A minus B and A intersection B are disjoint sets. They have nothing in common. Red, blue have nothing in common. So if they are disjoint sets, then you see for yourself. Suppose I want to find the cardinality of set A. Okay, cardinality of set A. Now you tell me, since set A is also equal to this union this, then cardinality of A will also be equal to cardinality of this, right? Cardinality of this whole thing, because they are same set, right? So counting number of element of A is the same as counting number of element of this set, right? Because they are equal sets, right? Okay. And
Yes, sir.
and you
Yes,
see
sir.
and you see for yourself that these two sets are disjoint sets. So cardinality of their union is equal to the sum of their individual cardinalities, right? Because we have already discussed this just now, that if A intersection B
Yes,
is
sir.
equal to phi, then cardinality of A union B is equal to cardinality of A plus cardinality of B, right? Similarly here this and this, their intersection is phi, so cardinality of their union is equal to cardinality of this plus cardinality of this, right? So cardinality of A is equal to
Yes, sir.
cardinality of A minus B plus cardinality of A intersection B. Okay. Now from this, what is the formula for cardinality of A minus B? Well, cardinality of A minus cardinality of A intersection B, right? If you take it to this side, right, then cardinality of minus B is equal to cardinality of A. This is plus here on the right hand side. If it goes to the left hand side, it will become what? Minus over there, right? So minus cardinality of A intersection B. Get my point? So this is the
Yes, sir.
So this
Yes,
is
sir.
so this is the formula for cardinality of A minus B. Got it? Okay. Similarly, cardinality of B minus A. B minus A means what? This one. This is B minus A. B minus A. This is A. This is B, and this is B minus A. Cardinality of B minus A. Similarly, you can see the pattern here. Cardinality of B minus cardinality of A intersection B. Okay?
Yes,
You get
sir.
my point? So these two are the formula.
Yes,
You have
sir.
to understand that cardinality of A minus B is equal to cardinality of A minus cardinality of A intersection B. Cardinality of B minus A is equal to cardinality of B minus cardinality of A intersection. Right? Remember this. Okay. Then let's find the cardinality of A union B. Well, right now we are going to find the formula for the general formula. Right now we are going to find the general formula for cardinality of A union B. What do I mean by saying general formula? Can anybody tell me general formula means what? I am going to find the general formula for cardinality of A union B. General formula means what? You see, just before we had also derived a formula for cardinality of A union B. That was cardinality of A plus cardinality of B. But that was a specific case. Only when the intersection was high, then only cardinality of A union B is equal to cardinality of A plus cardinality of B. But is it always necessary that intersection B will be phi? No. So let's find a general formula. Let's find a general formula. A formula that can be applied to any A intersection B. A intersection B is whatever, we don't care. We have to derive a formula such that that formula can work for any A intersection B. Okay. That's why I am calling it general formula. So this is red region, this is yellow region, and this is the blue region, right? Guys, what is this yellow region? Isn't it A minus B? Sorry, what is the red region? Red region is A minus B. What is the yellow region? A intersection B.
A intersection B.
What is the blue
A
region?
intersection B.
B minus A.
Oh. Now think
B
about it,
minus A.
guys. If you take a union of the red, the yellow, and the blue, what will you get? You
A
get-
union B.
Yes, you get
A
entire
union
union B, right? Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now also you tell me one more thing. Do you see anything common between red, blue, or yellow? Do you see anything common between red, yellow, or yellow, blue, or blue, red, blue, red? Do you see anything in common between all these things? Are there any mutual elements? No, right?
No, sir.
No, right? That means these three are mutually disjoint, right? They have nothing in common between one another. They have nothing in common between one another. A minus B intersection, we have nothing in common between them. B minus A intersection, we have nothing in common between them. A minus B minus A have nothing in common between them. So they are entirely disjoint with respect to one another. So if I want to find the cardinality of A union B, simply it is equal to cardinality of this plus cardinality of this plus cardinality of this. Why? Because they are mutually disjoint. Didn't we discuss this just before?
Yes,
before?
sir.
That if A and B are disjoint, then cardinality of A union B is equal to cardinality of A plus cardinality of B. Okay, that does not only apply to two sets. That applies to any number of sets. Right? Here you see that since these three have nothing in common between them, so cardinality of their union will be equal to what? Cardinality of A minus B plus cardinality of A intersection B plus cardinality of B minus A. Hello, anybody has any doubt up until here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Debraj,
No, sir.
Prithviraj, Kanan? No. Okay. So you see, okay. Now we have already derived the formula for cardinality of A minus B. What was that? Cardinality of A minus cardinality of A intersection B. Right? Right? We had already derived the formula for this. Then plus
Yes, sir.
this is cardinality of A intersection B plus, okay, and we have also already derived the formula for cardinality of B minus A, right? For this formula we have already derived. What is that? Cardinality of B minus cardinality of A intersection B. So let's just open the brackets. This is, if I open the brackets, this is cardinality of A minus cardinality of A intersection B plus cardinality of A intersection B plus cardinality of B minus cardinality of A intersection B, right? Check it out. These two will cancel out. What are we left with? Cardinality
Yes,
of
sir.
A plus cardinality of B minus cardinality of A intersection B. So this is the general formula for cardinality of A union B. Okay, you have to memorize this formula. Cardinality of A union B is equal to cardinality of A plus cardinality of B minus cardinality of A intersection B.
A union A intersection B.
A intersection B, right? Okay. So take the screenshot. 1 second. Please take it. Done.
Sir, done.
Done. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we'll do yes, and also we have discussed the formula for cardinality of union of three sets. Suppose I have three sets A, B, C. Suppose I have three sets A, B, C. Set A, set B, set C. Guys, let me tell you one thing. This is a general Venn diagram of ABC. This is a general Venn diagram of ABC. General, again, by general, what I mean, you see that it is possible that A, B will have something in common, B, C will have something in common, A, C will have something in common, A, B, C, all three have something in common. It is also possible, right? right? See, there are
Yes, sir.
yes, there are various specific cases. There are various specific cases. Like suppose A, B, C, they do not have anything common with one another. This is one case. There might be another case that suppose this is A, this is B, they have something in common, but both of them have nothing in common with C. So you can imagine a lot of scenarios. But let's talk about a general case. And in general case, A, B might have something in common, B, C might have something in common, A, C might have something in common, B, C might have something in common, A, B, C, all three might have something in common, right? So you see that all the elements here, they belong to both A and B. All the elements here, they belong to A and C both. Or all the elements here, they belong to B, C both. And think about this tiny portion. All the elements here, they belong to A, B, C, all three, right? You see for yourself. This is a general Venn diagram. You get it? Okay. Hello, got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now cardinality of A union B union C, right? Without deriving the formula, we just have to memorize it. Okay. The formula is cardinality of A plus cardinality of B plus cardinality of C minus cardinality of A intersection B minus cardinality of B intersection C minus cardinality of C intersection A plus cardinality of A intersection B intersection C. Okay, and I think you are able to figure out which region of the Venn diagram is which set, right? Which region is A intersection B, which region is B intersection C, which region is C intersection A, which region is A intersection B, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. This region is A intersection B. Suppose this is A, this is B, this is C. This region is A intersection C. This region is B intersection C. But this middle region, right? This is common between all A, B, C. So this region is A intersection B intersection C, right? Okay. And
Yes,
A,
sir.
and when I say set A means the entire set A, right? Whatever inside set A, that all is set A, right? Remember. Similarly, this is set B. Similarly, this is set C, right? You already know this. Okay, so okay, let's move on. Okay. Now let's do a couple of examples. First question is okay. Can you see the screen? Screen PDF.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
In a school, there are 20 teachers who teach mathematics or physics. Of these, देखो थोड़ा सा प्रिंटिंग मिस्टेक है, ऑफ कर दो इसको. Of these, 12 teach mathematics, 4 teach both physics and mathematics. How many teach physics? Okay, इसको और ऑफ कर दोगे, और लिखा है ऑफ कर दोगे, ठीक है. और बेटे मैं यहाँ पर आपको समझाता हूँ चीज़ क्या है. बेटे suppose you know this, that when I say A union B, right? If I write it in set builder form, how do I write it? X such that X belong to A or X belong to B. Do you remember we use the word or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can anybody tell me why do we use the word or? Why not and? Why do we use or here? Why not and? But in case of A intersection B, its set builder we write what? X such that X belongs to A and X belongs to B. Why do we use the word and here? And why do we use the word or here? Just because we like to use the word or there is something else? Well, there is a reason, there is a mathematical reason why we use the word or here. I have already explained this to you. What is the reason? You see for yourself, guys. This set A, this is set B. And what is A union B? This is A union B. Right? Well, out of the elements of A union B, suppose I pick an element from here. This element is there in A union B, right? This element is there in A union B, right? Right? This element, red element.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As you can see here, this red element belongs to only A, right? It doesn't belong to B, but it is there in A union B. Pick this element for example. This belongs to only B. This does not belong to A, right? This blue only belongs to B only, not A. But this also belongs to A union B, right? Take one element from here. This yellow element. This yellow element belongs to both A and B, right? So what do we see here? If I take any element from A union B, so that element either belongs to A or belongs to B, right? It is not necessary that that element has to belong to both A and B, right? It can belong to A or it can belong to B, right? This blue, red, yellow, right? Right? They can belong to A or they can belong to B. That is
Yes,
why
sir.
we are using the word or here, because it is not necessary that it has to belong to both, right? It can belong to A or it can belong to B. But remember, any element which does not belong to either of A, B, right? Any element which does not belong to either of A, B, if it is entirely outside, then those elements do not belong to A union B, because A union B has elements, only those elements which belong to either A or B, okay, not any outsider element, okay. So remember that for that. Here, why are we using the word and? I have already explained to you. You see for yourself. A intersection B is this region, right? Okay. Let's pick an element from this region. Let's pick this element, right? Think about it. This red element, why is it here? Because it belongs to A and B both, right? Necessarily, it has to belong to A, B both. Otherwise, it will not belong to A intersection B, because A intersection B carries only common elements. So that is why we are using the word and. This belongs to this and this belongs to this, and means necessary, confirmed, this has to belong to both. You see my point? Okay?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Now similarly, let's talk about one more thing. Suppose I have two sets. One is set M, which carries set of teachers who teach mathematics. Set P, suppose set of teachers who teach physics. Well, now I will write a set, and you will tell me what set is it. I am writing set of teachers who teach mathematics or physics. Or, I am using the word or. What set is it? Yes, it is M union P or M intersection P or what?
Sir, A union B.
Yes, here we have used MP, that is why it is M union P, right? M union P. Why? Because I use the word or here, you see, or, right? It is the union of
Yes,
these
sir.
two sets. Think about it, guys. Let me draw the set M. Let me draw the set P. Suppose this is set M, this is P. You see, M union P is what? This entire M union P, right? It carries all the elements of M and all the elements of P. This is called M union P, right? This is called M union P. You see, M union P carries all those teachers. M union P carries all those teachers who teach either mathematics or physics, right? Not necessarily they have to teach both. They can teach mathematics, they can teach physics, or also they can teach both mathematics, physics, right? You see, so like this teacher teaches only mathematics, this teacher only teaches physics, this teacher teaches mathematics, physics. So set of teachers who teach mathematics or physics, they will belong to what? M union P. Clear?
Yes, sir.
You will not forget
Yes, sir.
ever? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So now let's do the questions. So in a school there are 20 teachers who teach mathematics or physics. That means the cardinality of M union P will be equal to what? 20, right? Because there are 20 teachers who teach mathematics or physics, 20 teachers who teach mathematics or physics, then number of elements of A union P equal to what? 20, right? Right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you see here, of these 12 teachers teach mathematics. 12 teachers teach mathematics. That means set M, which carries all the mathematics teachers, it will carry how many elements? 12 elements, right? And
Yes,
then
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
4 teachers teach both mathematics physics, right? That means if I take intersection between M set and P set, it will have 4 elements, because 4 teachers teach mathematics and physics both. That means those 4 teachers will stay where? Here. Same. Okay, all the teachers that are there here, they teach both mathematics and physics. That is why M intersection P cardinality is equal to 4, because it says that 4 teach both mathematics and physics. Now the question is, how many teach physics? You see, the question is how many teach physics. Means cardinality of P is asked, right? Cardinality of set P is asked, because P set carries all those teachers which teach physics. Well, we
Sir,
have
8.
yes, very good. We have to use the direct formula. Cardinality of M union P is equal to cardinality of M, equal to cardinality of M plus cardinality of P minus cardinality of M intersection P. Then cardinality of M into 20 is equal to cardinality of M 12 plus is value of P is asked, and this is 4. Then cardinality of P will be equal to what? 12 minus 4 is 8. 20
8.
minus 8 is what?
12.
The 12.
Okay, 12. So answer is 12. Okay, you got it? Hello everybody.
Yes, sir.
That
Yes,
means,
sir.
okay,
Yes,
that
sir.
means,
Yes,
that,
sir.
okay, that means 12 teachers they teach physics. Okay, let me just show you, for the sake of fun, let me just show you where these okay, how many teachers lie in which region. Okay, let me just tell you. This set M, this set P. Okay, first of all, listen. 4 teachers teach both mathematics and physics, right? 4 teachers teach both mathematics and physics, and 12 teachers teach mathematics, right? Okay, 12 teachers is mathematics. So where will they be? Where will those 12 teachers be? Here, right? They teach mathematics, right? They teach mathematics. All the teachers who teach mathematics will be here, right? All the 12 teachers will be here. Okay, now those teachers who teach physics, okay, where will they be? They be here, right? You see, but there are 4 teachers which teach both, right? So those 4 teachers are staying in this region, okay, where this red and yellow are combined. You see, those 4 teachers are staying. Got it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Oh, done. So this question is done. Next question. Okay, next question is, in a survey of 400 students in a school, 100 were listed as taking apple juice. So there is a school and there are 400 students, okay, who are being surveyed. Total 400 students are being surveyed, right? Total 400 students are there and they are being surveyed. Out of those 400 students, 100 students are taking apple juice, 150 are taking orange juice, 75 are taking both apple and orange juice. Both apple and orange juice. 150 are taking orange juice, right? Total 150 they take orange juice, right? Total 75 they take both apple and orange juice, and 100 take apple juice. All these pieces of information are given to you. Question is, find how many students were taking neither apple nor orange juice. कितने ऐसे स्टूडेंट हैं जो कि ना तो एप्पल जूस पीते हैं ना तो ऑरेंज जूस पीते हैं. How many students were taking neither apple juice nor orange juice? Okay, so here the concept of universal set comes into picture. The concept of universal set comes into picture. Let me show you the Venn diagram first. Okay, so take the screenshot, guys. Take it. Done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So think about it. Let me have a universal set first. Let me have a universal set first. So total 400 students are being surveyed. Total 400 students are being surveyed. So let's think about it like this. All the 400 students are there inside this rectangle, this universal set. All the 400 students, they are inside this rectangle, this universal set. Remember, nothing exists outside the universal set, and it is true also here, because you are surveying only these 400 students. So whatever result comes out, that will come out of only these 400 students. We are not talking about any outsider. Only these 400 students are everything for us. So this is the universal set, right? All the 400 students are there in it. Suppose let's consider a set A, and let's consider another set B. Let's say A is the set of students drinking apple juice. Drinking apple juice. B is equal to set of students drinking orange juice. Drinking orange juice. You get my point? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all the 400 students will live in here. So all the okay. Now you tell me A union B, the set A union B. A union B means what? This set. Cover this entire A union B. This A union B. This will carry all those elements, right? You see for yourself. A union B will carry all those elements who drink either apple juice or orange juice, right? Any student who drinks apple juice or orange juice or both, those students will be found in which set? A union B, right? A union B. A union B is the set that takes all those students who drink either apple or orange juice, right? Get my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So set of students who drink apple either or only or the same thing, okay? Who drink apple or orange juice or orange juice. Any student who drinks apple or orange, they will have to be inside A union B. Now you tell me, those students who do not drink either apple, those students should drink neither. They drink neither apple juice nor orange juice. They don't like either. Okay. Where will they be? They'll be outside A union B, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
You see, you are surveying 400 people. You are surveying 400 students. Now, is it necessary that all 400 of them will drink either apple or orange? Maybe there are some who do not drink either. They don't like apple, they don't like orange, they don't like nothing, right? So those students will live in this or in this red shaded region, right? And in the question, it is asking you to find the number of students who live in this red shaded region. That is the number of students who drink neither apple nor orange juice. You get my point so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now guys, will you be surprised if I tell you that this red shaded region is equal to A union B whole complement? Because what is A complement? A complement is U minus A, right? Universal set minus A. Remove set A from universal set. Whatever are left, that is A complement. Similarly, remove entire A union B, all those, anything have to do with apple or orange. They have anything to do with apple, orange. Take them out. out of the universal set, out of these 400 students, what are you left with? You are left with those students who drink neither, right? So u minus a1 and b. You get my point? That is called complement of a1 and b. Remember? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
okay. And also, do you remember
Yes, sir.
the formula for complement of a, cardinality of complement of a? Cardinality of u minus cardinality of a. Simple. Okay. Cardinality of a complement is equal to cardinality of u minus cardinality of a. Okay. Everybody clear on this? Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
sir.
Clear.
Okay. Okay. So let's take a set u. Let u is set of 400 students who are being surveyed. Now I'm okay. I'm recording this. Okay, I will send the YouTube link. Just okay, right after the class, I will send the recording. If you have any doubts anywhere, rewatch the video. Okay, so that your doubts should be clear. So U is the set of 400 students who are being surveyed. That is to say, cardinality of U is equal to 400. Okay. And also other information, other pieces of information are also given to us. That 100 are taking apple juice, and we have I think set A carries all those apple juice students, right? Yes, A apple, yes. So cardinality of A is given what? 100, right? Because 100 drink apple juice, and 150 take orange juice. That means cardinality of B is 150, right? And there are 75 who take both. 75 take both apple orange, means intersection, right? Now
Yes, sir.
now which students they take either apple or orange, means any of them, doesn't matter whichever, any of them. So they will be there in A union B, right? So cardinality of A union B is equal to what? Cardinality of A plus cardinality of B minus cardinality of A intersection B. Cardinality of A is 100, cardinality of B is 150 minus cardinality is 75. Well, 100 plus 105, 150 is what? 250, right?
250.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
250
Yes,
minus
sir,
75. 250 minus 75. Wait, 175, right?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
That means these 175 students, they drink either apple or orange or both. We don't care, whatever. They drink either of them, right? They drink apple or orange. Only these, right? So which students, they do not drink any of these two. That is the complement of A union B, right? So we want to find a cardinality of this is equal to what? Cardinality of U minus cardinality of A union B, because cardinality of A complement is what? Cardinality of U minus cardinality of A, right? So cardinality of this is equal cardinality of U minus, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And what is cardinality of U? 400 universal set minus cardinality of A union B is what? 175.
175, yes.
175. The left out students, what are the students left out? Number of students, 400 minus 175, check it out. 400 minus 100 is 300, 300 minus
225.
225. Okay, very good. So these 225 students, they do not drink any of these two. They don't drink apple, they don't drink orange, they don't drink either of the two. Okay, get my point? So the answer is 225.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Here let me tell you one thing. There are lots of printing mistakes, guys. I've told you. Are you correcting the printing mistakes in your handbook? Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See here, one's written one, not there, not one, dash, A dash, A union B dash. Dash means what? Complement, right? This is also complement. Yeah. They all means complement, right? Remember?
Yes, sir.
There is a printing mistake.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also instead of writing cardinality, you can write n of A, n of U, n of B, right? Cardinality of A or mod of A, or you can write this. Same thing, okay? Yes. And also let me tell you, if you ever get confused, what is this? You say, sir, yes, you have told us this one, but what is this? Well, didn't we discuss De Morgan's law? A union B whole complement is equal to A complement intersection B complement. It was De Morgan's law. I told you to memorize it.
Yes, sir.
You want class to
Yes,
discuss
sir.
De Morgan's law?
Yes, sir.
So that is what is written here. Instead of written here, A union B whole complement is equal to A complement intersection B complement. I think you should not get confused, right? Okay. So take the screenshot. Take the screenshot. In exam, you do the way I am doing. Okay. Do the way I am doing. You won't have any mistakes. Yes, take it. You don't need to draw Venn diagrams. You don't need to draw Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams are not necessary, but you can, if you want, in rough. Okay, for the sake of your understanding. Okay, take it.
Sir, done.
Sir, done.
Done. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Guys, just give me a second. 1 second. Okay. Yes. So done. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, this question. In a group of 850 person, 600 can speak Hindi, 340 can speak Tamil. Find how many can speak both Hindi and Tamil. How many can speak Hindi only? How many can speak Tamil only? Okay. Well, let me ask you one thing. Okay, yes. Let me ask you one more thing. You see here that here it is written that 600 people can speak Hindi, right? It is saying that 600 people can speak Hindi. Then why is it asking you how many can speak Hindi only? What does that mean? Can anybody tell me? It is given that 600 people can speak Hindi, but why is it asking how many students can speak, how many can speak Hindi only? Well, the word only is there, right? Because you see, if I say, let me erase it. Okay. Hello, paying attention?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because if I say,
Yes, sir.
if I say 600 speak Hindi, 300 speak Tamil, 600 speak Hindi, 300 speak Tamil. Well, you see, these 600, they speak Hindi. Is it necessary that all 600 of them, they speak only Hindi? Where is the word only written? It is saying that 600 people speak Hindi. Okay. So it is also possible that there are some out of those 600 who also speak Tamil in addition to speaking Hindi, right? Is it necessary that all 600 of them speak Hindi, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, here it is saying that 300 people, they speak Tamil. Is it necessary that all these 300 people, they speak Tamil only? No. Where is the word only? Show me. Where is the word only? It says that 300 people speak Tamil. Well, it is possible that there are some who also speak Hindi. Just like in Odisha, if I say that like 2 crore people in Odisha, they speak English. 2 crore people in Odisha, they speak English. Does that mean they speak English only? No. It is possible that some of them also speak Odia. That's it. But in the question, it is asking you to how many people they can speak Hindi only, not Tamil. Similarly, how many can speak Tamil only means not Hindi. Remember this. Okay, so let's move on to do this question. So first point is there are total 850 people in the group. In the group there are total 850 people, right? In group, number of people in group, number of people. Chalo, directly you can do it directly. You see, let's say take two sets, H and T. H is set of people who speak Hindi. T is set of people who speak Tamil. You get my point? You get it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes,
now,
sir.
okay. Now, according to the question, how many people speak Hindi? 600 people speak Hindi. So, cardinality of H is 600. How many speak Tamil? 340 people speak Tamil. So, T cardinality is 350, 40, yeah, 350. 350. Sorry, 340. Then, okay. Now, the question is, please tell me, what is the cardinality of H union T? H union T cardinality is what? Okay. Guys, listen here. It says that there are 850 people. There are 850 people in the group, right? It says there are 850 people in the group. Out of those 800 people, 600 speak Hindi, 340 can speak Tamil. Question is, how many speak both Hindi and Tamil? How many speak Hindi only? How many speak Tamil only? So nowhere there is any indication. कहीं पर भी कोई भी इंडिकेशन नहीं है कि 850 लोगों में से कुछ ऐसे भी है जो कि हिंदी तमिल में से कुछ ना बोलता हो. There is no indication that there are some people out of these 850 who speak neither. ऐसा कोई इंडिकेशन देख रहे हो क्वेश्चन में? नहीं. So you have to automatically assume here that the cardinality of their union is 850. All those 850 people, they speak either Hindi or Tamil. You get my point, what I'm trying to say? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here you have to automatically assume that all the 850 people in the group, they speak either Hindi or English, right? They speak at least any of them, right? Because nowhere it has given any indication that there are some who do not speak any of these two languages. Nowhere. That's why we have to assume that. So let's assume that cardinality of H union T is what? 850. Total for 850 people in the group, okay? They speak either of them, right? And question is, how many speak both Hindi and Tamil? Okay, the first question let's solve, okay? First point let's solve. Bit 1. Question is, how many speak both Hindi and Tamil? Then cardinality of H intersection T is asked, okay? Guys, we know the formula for cardinality of H union T, which is cardinality of H plus cardinality of T minus cardinality of H intersection T, right? H intersection T. Put all the values. This is 850. This is what? 600.
600.
This is 340, I think. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
now just solve it. Okay. Bring this to this side because this is what we want to find. It is on the right hand side, there is minus in front of it. If it goes to the left hand side, it will become plus, right? That is what we do in what?
Yes, sir.
Equation solving. So this is 600 plus 340 and take this 850 to this side. It is plus here, it will become this side, it will become minus, right? Minus 850. So the answer is what?
Yes, sir.
600 plus 340 minus 850. Find out, solve it. 940 minus 850.
The 90.
90. Okay, yes.
Sir,
right.
90.
90.
Yes, sir. 90.
That means the first bit's answer is done. That 90 people, they speak both Hindi and Tamil, right? Okay. Next question. How many
Yes, sir.
can speak Hindi only? How many can speak Hindi only? First take the screenshot and we'll do the second bit. This question carries 6 marks. Okay, this question is long question. Take the screenshot.
The done.
Done. Okay.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. Now the second bit. The second bit is how many speak Hindi only, right? I think Hindi only. Guys, can you tell me which region carries the people who speak Hindi only? They have nothing to do with Tamil. They don't speak Tamil at all. They speak only Hindi. These people, right? these people they speak only Hindi, right? Which set that do they belong to? H minus T, right? Hello,
Yes, sir.
you tell me. H minus T, right? Okay, okay. So actually we want to find the number of people who speak Hindi only. Hindi only. Well, that is cardinality of H minus T. Answer is cardinality of H. Okay. Total number of element of H minus these elements H intersection T. Get it? Total number of element of H
Yes, sir.
minus these elements H intersection T. This is the formula. And what is the cardinality of H? You already know it. 600 I think speak Hindi.
600.
And already you have
600.
found this is 90.
Yes.
Already you have found.
Yes, sir.
Answer is 510. Right? 510 speak Hindi only. Right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Second beat.
Yes, sir.
How many speak Tamil only? Well, number of people who speak Tamil only. Tamil only. Well, which set will they belong to? This is H. This is T. These people they speak only Tamil, right? That means T minus H. Remember, T remove H set from T set. T minus H means what? Remove set H. If any element of set H is there in set T, remove them. Remove all the elements of set H from T. Okay, because you see these miscreants, okay, these people, okay, they even though they are in T, they are also there in H. So remove them. So whatever you are left with, that is T minus H. They speak only Tamil. So the formula is what? Cardinality of T minus cardinality of H intersection T. Right? Total number of element of T, then subtract from it the number of element that live here. Right? So what is the cardinality of T? Yes.
So 340.
340. Minus this is 90. Answer is what?
So 250.
Okay. What is the answer?
250.
Okay, done.
250.
Done.
Sir, 250.
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. Take this keyboard. Done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is the last question of set, and set is over. Okay. So so from the next class onward, there will be 2 classes after this exam, after this periodic test. There will be 2 classes per week, and also Sunday I will take classes. So we will cover next portion will cover relation function. Okay. After this, the next portion will cover relation function. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now let's read the question first. In a survey of 25 students, there is a survey of 25 students. Total 25 students are being surveyed. It is found that 12 have taken physics. 12 students have taken physics. 11 have taken chemistry. Well, you see for yourself. Nowhere it is written that 12 taken physics only. It says 12 taken physics, right? Means or generally they have taken physics. They might have taken chemistry with physics also. Doesn't matter, right? Okay. 15 taken mathematics. 4 taken physics and chemistry. 9 taken physics and mathematics. 5 taken chemistry and mathematics. 3 taken all the 3 subjects. Question is, find the number of students who have taken physics only, chemistry only, mathematics only, physics and chemistry but not mathematics, physics and mathematics but not chemistry, blah 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 blah. Okay, so let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's do it. Okay. So let's draw the Venn diagram first. This is the last question of set theory, and only these question you practice. Okay, no question from the outside. Only these questions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me draw the okay, 1 second. Yes. Physics, chemistry, mathematics. So let's call one set P. Let's call one set C. Let's call one set mathematics M. Okay. Now let me tell you something. Let's mark all the disjoint portions of this set. Disjoint portions means what? You see this. Let's say number of people who study physics only A, right? These people, you see these people, A is these people, this number of people. You get my point? This is A. You get it? Let's say
Yes,
Yes, sir.
okay. Let's say A is the number of people who study physics only, right? No other subject, only physics. Let's say B is the number of people who speak physics and chemistry both, but not mathematics. Means this is okay. Number of okay. This region. I am talking about this region. Okay. B number of people live in this region. Got it?
yes, sir.
Okay. Let's
Yes, sir.
say small c. This is the number of people who study chemistry only, right? This region, only chemistry. Okay. And let's say D is the number of people who study physics and mathematics both. They study physics and mathematics both, but they don't study chemistry. Do they belong to chemistry set? You see, these people.
No, sir.
Do they belong to chemistry set? No. Let's say E is the number of people who study physics, chemistry, mathematics, all three. These people, they study physics, chemistry, mathematics, all three. You get it? And let's say F is the number of
Yes, sir.
people who study chemistry and mathematics both. Because these people, they speak chemistry, mathematics both, but they do not study physics, right? And let's say these people, G number of people who live in this region, that number is G, and these people study only mathematics. They do not study physics or chemistry. You get my point? Okay. So let's
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let's move on. Okay. 1 second, guys. Yes. So according to the question, 12 have taken physics, right? 12 people have taken physics. Now you tell me, 12 people have taken physics. Okay. See, if I add A, because A is the number of people who take physics only. If I add A with B, then with E, then with D, A, B, E, D, A, B, E, D. If I add all these people, A, B, E, D, all these people, I will get the number of people in the entire P set, right? I will get the number of people in the entire P set. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
A plus B plus C plus D, entire P set.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is A, B, C, D, E, F, G? What are they? Number of people. Okay, number of people. A is the number of people who live in this. B is the number who live like this. Okay. So A plus B plus C, A plus B plus E plus D is the number of people who study physics, and that number is 12. So this is 12. Then 11 taken chemistry. Number of students who have taken chemistry is 11. Okay. So B plus C plus E plus F. B plus C plus E plus F is what? What is it given? 11. Hello, get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What about the
Yes,
others?
sir.
What about the others?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 15 have taken mathematics. 15 have taken mathematics. Mathematics means, you see, D plus E plus F plus G, right? D plus E plus A plus G, 15. Okay. 4 have taken physics and chemistry. 4 have taken physics and chemistry. 4 have taken physics and chemistry. Guys, tell me what is the number of people who take physics, chemistry both? B plus E, right? B plus E, right? B plus E people, they take physics, chemistry both, right? And that is 4. Hello, get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then 9 have taken physics and mathematics. 9 have taken physics and mathematics. Physics and mathematics. Physics and mathematics. Let me D plus E, right? D plus E is 9. D plus E is equal to 9. What else is given? 5 have taken chemistry and mathematics. 5 have taken chemistry and mathematics. So chemistry and mathematics.
Sir, EF.
Yes, EF, right?
EF.
EF. 5 have taken. And also it is saying that 3 have taken all the 3. 3 have taken all the 3.
Sir, this,
What? E, right?
sir, this is E.
Sir, E.
E. Okay. E. E is equal to 3. It is given to us. Okay. So let's just find the values of A, B, C, D, E, F, G one by one. Okay. So let's name the equations. This equation 1, this equation 2, this is equation 3, this is equation 4, this is equation 5, equation 6, equation 7. Now you tell me, I know the value of E here. In equation 7, I know the value of E is equal to 3. Then if I put the value of E in equation 6, can I get the value of F?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because equation 6 says E plus F is equal to 5. So F is equal to what? 5 minus E. And E is what? 3. So 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Right?
Sir,
Will
2.
everybody get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So value of F is obtained as 2. Okay. Remember, value of F is obtained as 2. Then if I put the value of E in equation 5, right? From अरे हे क्या लिख दिया? From this is 6 and 7. 6 and 7. Sorry. 6 and 7. Okay. हाँ. From 5 and 7. Equation 5 and equation 7. Equation 5, equation 7 से D is equal to what? 9 minus E. And E is 3. So 9 minus 3 is 6, right?
Yes, sir.
So D
Yes,
is
sir.
equal to
Yes, sir.
6. Okay. Then from equation 4 and 7, equation 4 B plus E is equal to 4. Right. Equation 4 and 7. E is equal to what? Sorry. B is equal to what? 4 minus B, right? B is equal to 4 minus E, right? So 4 minus 3, 1. Because B is what? E plus B is 4, right? Check it out. E plus B is 4, yes. E plus B is 4. So B is what? 4 minus C, right? 4 minus 3, get it? So B
Yes,
value,
sir.
So B value is 1.
Yes, sir.
B value is 1. Then what else is there? Okay. Now look at equation 3. Look at equation 3. Well guys, I think you already know the value of D. You already know the value of E. You already know the value of F, right? You have already known the value of F, right?
Yes, sir.
So plug
Yes, sir.
in their values, you will be able to find the value of G, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
tell me what the value of G is from 3 and 7. What is the value of G? From 3 7. From 3 and 7. निकाल के बोलो मुझे 3 7 से क्या आएगा वैल्यू 3 7 से 3 में डालो डी ई एफ वैल्यू डालो और जी का वैल्यू निकालो मिलकर 15 है ई इज 3 एफ का वैल्यू आया है 2 डी का वैल्यू आया है 6 6 प्लस 2 8 डी प्लस एफ 8 और ई 3 11 सो जी आएगा 15 माइनस 11 4 जी इज इक्वल टू 4 हेलो गेट इट हेलो
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
G is equal to 4. Okay. Similarly, let's move on to the previous equation 2. Here you see, you know the value of B. You know the value of E. You know the value of F. Can you find the value of C? Of course you can, right? E is 3.
Yes, sir.
F is what? F is your 2. B is 1. B plus F plus C. 1 plus 2 plus 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3. 3 plus 3, 6. 6.
Sir, 5. So 11 minus 6, 5.
5. So C is equal to 5, right? From 2 and 7. 2 and 7. E is equal to 5. Then E is equal to 5 is done. Then in the first equation, find the value of A. You know the value of B, you know the value of E, you know the value of D. Find the value of A. मैं zoom out कर देता हूँ. Yes, E value 3, B value 1, 3 plus 1 4,
Sir, 2.
2, 4 plus 6, B plus C plus D, B plus C plus D. 10 I think 10. Yes, 2. Okay. A is equal to 2, right? A is equal to 2. Okay. So let me just write down all the values here in one place. Finally, hello everybody, get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
So A is equal to 2, B is equal to 1, C is equal to what? What is C?
Sir, 5.
5. Where is C 5? C किधर है 5? कहाँ निकाले थे? अरे C तो नहीं निकाला अभी तक. हाँ? इधर इधर में C निकाले थे इक्वेशन 2 से. इधर G क्या लिख दिया हमें? हाँ, गड़बड़ हो गया रे. G क्या आ गया ये पर? ओहो, C नहीं निकाले अभी तक शायद. कोई दोनों को मिला दिए शायद, गलती कर दिए. ये 3 से आया था हमारा G का वैल्यू 4, ठीक है. ओह, डायरेक्टली C नहीं निकाले, मतलब इक्वेशन 2 को नहीं किए हैं. इसको नहीं किया. अरे इसको करके निकालो जरा. C का वैल्यू
Sir, C equal to 5.
5 आया था. ओके 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 ओके
Yes, sir.
ओके ओके ओके. हाँ, C इज इक्वल टू 5. ओके, ठीक है. C इज इक्वल टू 5. ओके. D 6. E
Sir, 3.
3. F 2. G 4. राइट? सारे वैल्यू मिल गए?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ओके. फाइनली खाली हमें आंसर लिखना है. number of people who speak who study physics only. Well, which people who study physics only? A, right? A is the number of students who study only physics, right? A. So the first question's answer is 2. Hello, get it? Value of A.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, chemistry only. C, right? C. Value of C is what? 5.
Yes, C.
5. Okay. Mathematics only. G, right? G. Value of G is 4. So 4 people study mathematics only. Physics and chemistry, but not mathematics. Yes. Physics and chemistry, but not mathematics. You see which students they study physics and chemistry, but not mathematics. B, right? Check it out. B. Right? B is the number of students. B is the number of students who study physics and chemistry both, but not mathematics, right? B. You get it? So the answer will be B. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then physics and this also you can do. Then number of students who study only one of the subjects. Only one of the subjects. See, only one of the subjects, his answer will be A plus C plus G. A plus C plus G. Why? Because you see this A number of people, this C number of people, this G number of people, they study only one languages, not more than one, right? These A people, they study only physics. These C number of people, they study only chemistry. This G number of people, they study only mathematics. They study only one subject, not more than that, right? So you have to add them up. A plus C plus G. Get it? Only one of the subjects.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. Number of people who study at least one of the three languages. Okay, let me tell you. Guys, whenever it will ask you the word at least, it means union, remember. Okay, see, number of students who study at least one of the three subjects. You tell me.
सर ई निकल जाएगा.
No, all A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you have to add them up all. Why? You see, those students who study at least one of the language. अच्छा, कौन मुझे बताएगा at least one of the language का मतलब क्या होता है? कम से कम एक language, right? Sorry, कम से कम एक subject, right? कम से कम एक subject.
Yes, sir.
At least one. कम से कम एक मतलब एक या फिर एक से ज़्यादा हो सकता है, लेकिन एक से कम नहीं होना चाहिए. मतलब कोई जो लोग सिर्फ एक सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रहे हैं, जो लोग दो सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रहे हैं, मतलब फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री पढ़ रहे हैं लेकिन मैथ नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं, फिजिक्स मैथ पढ़ रहे हैं लेकिन केमिस्ट्री नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं, मैथ फिजिक्स पढ़ रहे हैं लेकिन केमिस्ट्री नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं, एंड वो लोग जो तीनों के तीनों भी पढ़ लेते हैं, मतलब वो सबको मिलाना है हमें, राइट? सो दोज पीपल दे स्पीक एटलीस्ट वन ऑफ द थ्री लैंग्वेज. कम से कम कुछ ना कुछ तो, मतलब सब तीनों सब्जेक्ट में से कम से कम कुछ ना कुछ तो पढ़ते हैं. मेरा बात समझ रहे हो ना? एटलीस्ट वन ऑफ द थ्री सब्जेक्ट्स. हेलो, गेट इट?
Yes, sir.
सो
Yes, sir.
तीनों का, सो एटलीस्ट वन ऑफ द वर्ड देखोगे तो मतलब यूनियन, राइट? यूनियन का कैर्नलिटी. सो इनका व्हाट इज द कैर्नलिटी ऑफ यूनियन? सारे को पूरा ऐड करना है, ए से लेके जी तक. ओके, यू गेट इट?
Yes, sir.
ओके.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then the last question, none of the three subjects means how many are there who do not study any of these three? Well, think about it. There are total 25 students being surveyed. There are 25 students being surveyed, and out of those 25 students, this number of students, right, they study at least one of these three subjects, right? Either physics, chemistry, math, or any of those. Okay, those students who do not study any of them, how will you find out? Subtract this number from 25, right? Because 25 is the total number of students who are being surveyed, right? Right? Hello. Universal
Yes,
set.
Yes, sir.
Kernelity of
Yes, sir. Yes,
universal.
sir.
Kernelity of universal set is 25, and kernelity of this is equal to whatever value you will get. You will find out yourself. And number of students who do not study any of these three will be equal to what? Right? So do this question. Okay, this is a long question. This is okay. These last 3-4 questions are long questions. Okay, this question is long question. This and this, the last, if these two questions are long question, and only practice this question. No question from any extra other books. Only this book. Okay, for the timing. So only this book and book. So thank you guys. God bless you. And this chapter is over. Okay, set chapter is over. In the next class, we'll start with trigonometry as far as I am concerned. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
sir.